Hi guys, welcome to another video. In this video, I want to cover my journey of getting into JP Morgan investment banking team at age 20. I want to talk about how I cracked the entire process to finally land into JP Morgan. From getting the opportunity through my network, then how did I clear the preliminary screening test? Third, how did I stand out in the town hall that JP conducted? Fourth, how did I showed my proficiency in the technical rounds? How did I prove that I am the future of JP Morgan to the managing directors or the sector heads in JP Morgan? So I think this is broadly what I want to cover in this video. So I think the first thing that you want to crack is networking, because 90% of the people who were doing articleship with me didn't know that JP Morgan is providing an opportunity in investment banking at 9 lakh per annum before even if you clear your CA. And that was fascinating to me because this is such an opportunity which should go viral, right? So I find it very important that you have a network through which such opportunities can come to you. Now the important question is, everybody talks about network, but build कैसे करें network यार? मतलब there's no way to build this network which I've found somebody sharing on social media. All the ways are very weird. Cold mail करो, ये करो, वो करो. The best way to do is जो भी लोग आपके साथ रह रहे हैं, राइट, आर्टिकलशिप में, हॉस्टल में, कॉलेज में, ट्राई टू ऐड वैल्यू टू देयर लाइव्स, ट्राई टू टेक पार्ट इन डिफरेंट कॉम्पिटिशंस, in different initiatives that those people are running. Try to help them as much as you can. You won't believe me, these things, these small things that you do without expecting anything in return would pay off in a big way. Now the second part that I want to cover is basically how did I go through the preliminary screening. So for JP, since thousands of candidates applied, they had to find a way in which they can screen candidates, filter out candidates, right? And this is usually done through a logical reasoning test or a market awareness test, which was conducted in our case. For both these tests, I think what is critical is if you can simply prepare through reading newspapers during your time at articleship, solve more problems generally would help you to sharpen your brain to attend these tests, right? Be it taking more responsibility in your articleship, because with every level of responsibility, the level of problem solving requires also increases. And these problem solving skills are very critical and it comes very handy. So yeah, I think that's the way to go about for the preliminary screening part. So I think a very critical part is the third part, which is the town hall that JP conducted for us. So this was basically JP telling us through some senior folks in JP what they actually do in investment banking. And at the same time, they were trying to test our ability to respond to questions that they asked during these town halls. So I think the best way to go about attending these town halls is the preparation begins from the articleship days, right? You have to read news articles, read M&A deals, read what is happening in the market in terms of who is investing in what startup, which startup is getting acquired by which company. So all these things really help a lot in terms of answering questions that these guys ask, and the preparation has to begin much earlier for this. Also a little bit of specialization in terms of if you have covered even just one sector, one industry during your taxation or audit days while you were pursuing your articleship, it really helps a lot because that really helps you to stand out from the crowd. If that sector gets covered during that town hall, you will be the first person who will be able to speak about that sector, right? And usually during these town halls, most of the sectors gets covered. They would try to talk about companies from each of these sectors, and you can speak in between, right? You can raise your hand and you can actually talk about that sector, which really helps you to stand out from that crowd, right? They also conduct a test in the end, which was basically just testing how good you were at grasping a lot of things that were asked during the town hall and that were told to you. I think CFA level 1 books, even if you're not pursuing CFA, really helps in cracking these tests as well. So I think I would recommend that you can buy CFA level 1 book set anywhere from anywhere. It costs around 1000 to 1500. So yeah, that's it. So I think the most critical part is the fourth part, which is basically where the technical interview comes. And in the technical round of interview, you have to show your technical proficiency, right? Which is basically, you know, the stuff that would be required to do the work in investment banking, or you can actually learn those things. So how do you show that? There are two, three things, right, that you should keep in mind. First is you should be very clear with your financial concepts. Basic way to do it is, as I suggested earlier, read CFA Level 1 booklet. It will help you understand all the basic financial concepts that are required to clear such interviews. Other than that, you can just cover your SFM book, which also covers all the financial concepts. So I think those are the key things which can help you cover easily all the financial concepts that are required. The free cash flow concept, the discounted cash flow model concept, the valuation concept. All these concepts are critical while you appear for the technical round. Second is always be ready with a stock pitch. Like you should know one stock so well that if somebody wakes you up in your dream, you should be able to talk about that stock. For me, it was Indigo Airlines. I could speak about Indigo for hours and hours, and you can wake me up at 4 a.m. at night or talk about Indigo Airlines and how their business model functions. So that was critical. Third thing, I think it's important that we pay attention to what we are doing in audit and taxation. When somebody looks at your resume and they see that this person has worked in a particular sector, say it is cement, the obvious question for an investment banker to ask is, what did you do? What are the deals that have happened in the cement sector? What is your understanding about cement industry, the current market context? So I think these are critical questions that you should be ready to answer. And for you to become an investment banker, this is the key. I think the final round of interview is the managing director or the sector head round, where they're not exactly trying to test every technical concept that you know, but trying to understand what is your future outlook. What do you want to do in 5 years, 10 years? Because they are looking for an asset which will not just serve them for 1 or 2 or 3 months, but for a very long horizon, right? In their mind, they're trying to evaluate whether you'll be able to grow in the organization, you'll be able to grow in your role. That is what they're trying to assess. So you should be very clear conceptually, why are you doing investment banking? Why at this stage you're doing investment banking? What is your motive? Is money an attractive proposition for you? What do you want to do in future? It's okay, since you're a fresher, to be not clear about everything 10 years down the line, but you should have an idea about why you are taking this step in your career. They will try to understand from you which are the recent M&A deals that have happened, very high level things that they will touch upon. So if you're clear with all these concepts, concept meaning deals, it would be really helpful for you to crack these interviews.